Hello, dear viewers and fellow soap opera enthusiasts. Welcome back to TV Day's Drama Digest, your ultimate source for all things dramatic, heart-wrenching, and utterly addictive in the world of daytime television. I'm your host, diving deep into the swirling vortex of secrets, betrayals, and high-stakes confrontations that make days of our lives the timeless guilty pleasure it is. Today, we're zeroing in on one of the most explosive storylines currently gripping Salem, the saga of Sophia Phillips. This young woman, once a seemingly innocent bystander in the tangled web of relationships, has now become the epicenter of a storm that's threatening to upend lives, shatter families, and expose long-buried truths. If you've been following along, and let's be honest, who hasn't been glued to their screens? You know that Sophia's world is crumbling faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. Her crimes, meticulously hidden behind a facade of youthful charm and calculated innocence, are on the verge of being laid bare for all of Salem to see. But in true soap opera fashion, Sophia isn't going down without a fight. She's plotting a daring escape, a frantic dash for freedom that could either seal her fate or allow her to vanish into the shadows. The burning question on everyone's lips: who will stop her? Will the forces of justice, or perhaps vengeance, catch up to her in time? Buckle up, because we're about to dissect this plot twist with the kind of dramatic flair and intricate detail it deserves. We'll explore the motivations, the alliances, the heart-pounding pursuits, and the potential fallout that could reshape the landscape of days of our lives forever. To truly appreciate the gravity of Sophia's predicament, we need to rewind the clock and revisit the labyrinth of events that led us here. Sophia Phillips entered the scene as a fresh-faced teenager, entangled in the lives of Salem's younger generation. Her infatuation with Tate Black was no secret. It burned with the intensity of first love, or so it seemed. But beneath that starry-eyed exterior lurked a schemer, one who would stop at nothing to claim what she believed was hers. Tate, the brooding son of Brady Black and Teresa Donovan, had his own share of troubles, a history of rebellion, heartbreak, and family drama that made him a prime target for Sophia's manipulations. It all escalated when Sophia dropped the bombshell that she was pregnant, claiming Tate as the father. The revelation sent shockwaves through Salem. Tate, already navigating the complexities of his relationship with Holly Jonas, was thrust into a paternity nightmare. The Black and Donovan families rallied, torn between skepticism and the looming responsibility of a new life. But whispers of doubt began to circulate. Was Sophia telling the truth, or was this a ploy to ensnare Tate and secure her place in his world? As the months dragged on, the pregnancy became a focal point of intrigue, with prenatal appointments turning into battlegrounds for accusations and defenses. Then came the birth of little Tesoro, a name that evoked images of treasure, but one that now feels ironic given the deceit surrounding it. The delivery was a scene straight out of a thriller, Sophia in labor, surrounded by medical staff at University Hospital, while Tate paced the waiting room, his face a mask of anxiety and uncertainty. The baby arrived healthy, but the paternity test loomed like a guillotine. In a twist that no one saw coming, or perhaps everyone suspected deep down, the results confirmed what Sophia had feared. Tesoro was not Tate's child. The real father? That's a mystery still shrouded in secrecy, but rumors swirl around possible connections to other Salem residents, perhaps even a forbidden affair that could ignite even more scandals. This revelation wasn't just a personal blow. It unraveled a tapestry of lies that Sophia had woven with expert precision. Her crimes extended beyond the paternity fraud. There were whispers of blackmail, manipulation of evidence, and even tampering with legal documents to cover her tracks. Sophia had coerced friends, bribed witnesses, and spun a web of deceit that implicated innocent parties. The DiMera family, ever the opportunists, sensed blood in the water and began circling. E.J. DiMera, with his sharp legal mind and unyielding ambition, vowed to expose her, seeing it as a chance to settle old scores. Meanwhile, the Brady clan, protective of Tate, mobilized to ensure Sophia faced the consequences. As the noose tightened, Sophia's panic reached fever pitch. The once confident schemer found herself cornered, her options dwindling like sand through an hourglass. In a moment of sheer desperation, she turned to the one person in Salem who might understand the art of bending the rules, Melinda Trask. Melinda, the formidable district attorney turned reluctant ally in various plots, has a history of skating on the edge of legality. Her own past is checkered with scandals, from her involvement in baby switches to her ruthless pursuit of power. Sophia, knowing Melinda's reputation for cunning, sought her out in a clandestine meeting that crackled with tension. Picture the scene: a dimly lit corner booth in the Brady pub, the air thick with the aroma of coffee and unspoken regrets. Sophia, her eyes darting like a hunted animal, slid into the seat across from Melinda. "I need your help," she whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and defiance. Melinda, sipping her black coffee, raised an eyebrow, her expression a blend of curiosity and wariness. What followed was a confession that would make even the most jaded Salem resident gasp. Sophia laid it all bare: the fabricated paternity, the lies to Tate, the cover-ups that involved forging medical records and intimidating potential whistleblowers. "Tesoro isn't Tate's," she admitted, tears streaming down her face, her hands clenched into fists on the table. "I've ruined everything. They're coming for me, the Blacks, the DeMaras, everyone." Melinda listened in stunned silence, her mind racing through the legal ramifications. As a lawyer, she knew the charges could range from fraud to child endangerment, potentially landing Sophia in Statesville prison for years. But Melinda, ever the pragmatist with her own skeletons in the closet, saw a reflection of her younger self in Sophia's desperation. "You can't fight this head-on," Melinda advised, her tone low and urgent. "The evidence is stacking up. If you stay, they'll bury you. Your only option is to run. Disappear. Start over somewhere they can't find you." It was a risky counsel, one that could implicate Melinda herself if discovered, but in the heat of the moment, it seemed like the only lifeline. Sophia, grasping at the straw, nodded fervently. The plan took shape in hushed tones. Sophia would gather what little cash she had, secure false identification, perhaps through one of Melinda's shady contacts, and slip out of Salem under the cover of night. She envisioned a new life, far from the judgmental eyes and vengeful pursuits, where she could raise Tesoro in peace. But oh, how fate loves to intervene in days of our lives. What Sophia didn't know, what she couldn't possibly anticipate, was that her every move was being watched. Enter Johnny DiMera and Chanel Dupree, the unlikely duo turned amateur detectives in this unfolding drama. Johnny, the charismatic filmmaker with a penchant for intrigue, had his own reasons for getting involved. As EJ's son, he was privy to the family vendetta against Sophia, but his motivations ran deeper. Johnny had witnessed the toll on Tate, a friend caught in the crossfire, and felt a surge of protective anger. Chanel, his fierce and fabulous wife, brought her own fire to the mix. Fresh off her own battles with betrayal and loss, remember the heartbreak of her bakery scandals and personal tragedies? Chanel was no stranger to fighting for justice. Together, they formed a formidable team, their chemistry electric as they pieced together clues. It started with a tip-off. Johnny, eavesdropping on a conversation at the DiMera mansion, overheard mentions of Sophia's frantic calls. Suspicious, he enlisted Chanel's help. "We can't let her get away with this," Johnny said, his eyes blazing with determination as they huddled in their apartment, maps and notes spread across the table. Chanel, ever the voice of reason laced with passion, agreed. "She's hurt too many people. If the law won't catch her fast enough, we will." Armed with nothing but their wits, a rented car, and a burner phone, they began tailing Sophia. The pursuit was a masterclass in suspense. Sophia, oblivious at first, made her way to the bus station on the outskirts of Salem, Tesoro bundled in her arms. The night was stormy, rain lashing against the windows like accusatory fingers. Lightning illuminated the scene in stark flashes, casting long shadows that mirrored Sophia's inner turmoil. She clutched her ticket to Chicago, heart pounding, whispering soothing words to the sleeping baby. "We'll be okay, little one. A new start, just you and me." But Johnny and Chanel were close behind. They parked discreetly, blending into the crowd of weary travelers. Johnny's camera skills came in handy. He snapped discreet photos, documenting every step. As Sophia boarded the bus, a sense of impending doom hung in the air. Chanel whispered to Johnny, "We have to stop her now, before she vanishes." They followed in their car, the highway stretching like a dark ribbon into the unknown. Mile after mile, the tension built. Sophia glanced out the window, a prickling sensation on the back of her neck. Was that paranoia, or something more? The climax unfolded at a roadside rest stop, where the bus pulled over for a brief halt. Sophia stepped out for fresh air, Tesoro fussing in her carrier. That's when Johnny and Chanel made their move. Emerging from the shadows like avenging angels, they confronted her. "Sophia, it's over," Johnny shouted, his voice cutting through the rain. Sophia froze, her face paling to ghostly white. How did you?" she stammered, backing away. Chanel stepped forward, her eyes flashing with righteous fury. "We've been watching you. We know everything, the lies, the fraud, the way you've destroyed lives. You think you can just run? Not on our watch." The argument escalated into a heated exchange, words flying like daggers. Sophia pleaded, "Please, for the baby's sake. Let me go. I didn't mean for it to go this far." But Johnny was unmoved. The baby deserves the truth, not a life on the run with a mother who's built everything on deception. In a desperate bid, Sophia tried to bolt, clutching Tesoro and dashing toward the woods bordering the stop. The chase was visceral, feet pounding on wet pavement, breaths ragged in the cold night air. Johnny, athletic from his directing escapades, closed the gap. Chanel, quick on her feet, flanked from the side. They cornered Sophia against a chain-link fence, the rain mingling with her tears. "Give it up, Sophia," Johnny urged, his tone softening slightly. "Running won't fix this. Face it, and maybe there's redemption." Defeated, Sophia slumped to the ground, the fight draining from her. The authorities, alerted by a quick call from Chanel, arrived shortly after, sirens wailing like a symphony of justice. Handcuffs clicked into place, and Tesoro was gently taken into protective custody, his future now a new thread in Salem's ever-evolving tapestry. But is this the end? In Days of Our Lives, nothing is ever truly resolved. Will Sophia's arrest lead to a trial that exposes even more secrets? Could Melinda's involvement come to light, dragging her back into the scandalous spotlight? And what of Tate? Will he find closure, or will the paternity revelation open doors to new relationships and conflicts? Johnny and Chanel's heroism might strengthen their bond, but at what cost? Their meddling could invite retaliation from unexpected quarters. Do you think this story will unfold exactly as we've dramatized it here? Or will the writers throw in more curveballs, like a last-minute ally for Sophia or a shocking twist about Tesoro's true parentage? One thing's for sure, Salem is never short on drama. Stay tuned to Days of Our Lives and keep following TV Days Drama Digest for more in-depth analyses, predictions, and behind-the-scenes scoops. What are your theories? Drop them in the comments below. Let's discuss how this escape attempt might play out. As we wrap up this deep dive, let's reflect on why storylines like Sophia's captivate us so profoundly. Soap operas like Days of Our Lives aren't just entertainment, they're mirrors to our own lives, amplified with the volume turned up to 11. They explore the depths of human emotion, love, betrayal, redemption, despair, in ways that make us feel seen, even in our most chaotic moments. Sophia's arc, from manipulator to fugitive, reminds us of the fragility of secrets and the inexorable pull of consequences. To expand further, consider the broader implications for the ensemble cast. Tate Black, freed from the false paternity, might rekindle his romance with Holly Jonas. Their relationship has been a roller coaster, stolen kisses in the park, misunderstandings fueled by jealousy, and now this liberation. Holly, with her own history of schemes, who can forget her crush on EJ, could become Tate's rock, helping him heal. But will old flames like Sophia's lingering influence create jealousy? Then there's the DiMera factor. EJ, ever the puppet master, might use Sophia's downfall to his advantage, perhaps leveraging it in his ongoing power struggles at DiMera Enterprises. His marriage to Nicole Walker hangs by a thread. Could this distraction pull them closer or drive them apart? Nicole, searching for her own lost child, might see parallels in Tesoro's situation, adding layers of maternal angst. Brady Black, Tate's father, has his hands full. His addiction struggles and rocky romance with Teresa could intensify if Teresa feels guilty for not spotting Sophia's lies sooner. Teresa, with her con artist past, might even sympathize with Sophia, creating internal family conflict. And let's not forget the Kiriakis clan. Victor's legacy looms large, and any ripple affecting Tate could stir up old rivalries. Xander Cook, always scheming, might see an opportunity to insert himself into the drama. Melinda Trask's role adds another dimension. Her advice to flee could backfire spectacularly if evidence surfaces. As DA, her credibility is on the line. Will she double down on denial, or confess and seek atonement? Her dynamic with Trask family ties, including her daughter Haley, could fracture further. Johnny and Chanel's pursuit highlights their growth. Johnny, once a playboy, is maturing into a hero. Chanel, resilient after losing her baby and bakery woes, embodies strength. Their marriage, tested by past infidelities, emerges stronger, perhaps leading to their own family plans. Visually, imagine the episodes, sweeping shots of rainy highways, close-ups of tear-streaked faces, dramatic music swelling during confrontations. The writing team excels at building suspense, layering reveals like onion peels. Speculating ahead, Sophia might not stay in prison long. A plea deal? A mysterious benefactor? Or a prison break, echoing classic soap tropes? Tesoro's true father could be revealed as someone shocking, perhaps Paul Narita, or even a DiMera heir, tying into larger arcs. Fan reactions are buzzing. Online forums debate Sophia's redeemability, villain or victim of circumstance. Polls show split opinions on Johnny and Chanel's interference, heroic or reckless. In conclusion, Sophia's escape attempt is more than a plot point. It's a catalyst for evolution in Salem. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.